The following is an Infinity One Productions presentation, keeping it honest, insightful, interactive. You're listening to the RCWR Show with Lee Sanders.
Welcome back to the RCWR Show. Our guest at this time is a man that does not really need an introduction, but we're going to go on ahead and give him one anyway. He's won various championships in the WWE. That includes being a one-time world champion, having won the ECW title. He's also won various singles championships. That includes having held the Hardcore Championship, the European Championship, the Cruiserweight title, and the United States Championship. Did we also mention that he was a WWE Tag Team Champion on at least 6 occasions? A vast majority of those with his brother, Jeff Hardy. Grand total, folks, he's won 13 championships in the WWE. He's also wrestled for various promotions, including TNA Wrestling, Ring of Honor Wrestling, and he's gearing up to make his return to the Extreme Rising promotion for their Unfinished Business pay-per-view coming up December 28th, followed by the launch of the weekly television series on January 1st. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it's the one and only Matt Hardy. Matt, thank you so much for taking the time out to do this, as it means a lot to our listeners and for me for sure, as I'm someone who's been watching your career for quite a long time. How you doing, buddy?
I'm very good, man. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, man. I can't complain. I definitely want to say before we go right into this, congratulations to your marriage to Miss Rebby Sky. How's that been going so far?
Thank you very much. It's been going absolutely excellent. A wonderful lady, intelligent, beautiful, smart, and she's not afraid to crack the whip when she has to. So it works out all good for me.
Good. Now, something I think that's probably very fresh on the minds of a lot of your fans, definitely our listeners, especially the ones that follow you on Twitter, was the very kind words that you said earlier this week about the final segment from WWE Raw with Randy Orton and John Cena, as they're going to be locking it up at the TLC pay-per-view this Sunday for the Unified Championship. Just seeing that whole segment play out and how they were surrounded by former champions, I mean, what a great segment that was. You've been in the ring, respectively, with both of these men, and you're also no stranger to TLC matches, including your brother Jeff. With all the pressure on these two guys going into this Sunday's pay-per-view, do you think they'll be able to deliver a 5-star quality type of match?
I really think they will deliver. John Cena has an incredible work ethic. Randy Orton is just so blessed genetically as far as being talented. And they're really, they know the spotlight is on them and it's burning white hot. So I know they're going to go out there and give it their all. And if they didn't deliver a great match, I would be extremely surprised. Because they are both really great, especially when they're motivated. And I think they're both motivated, and I think WWE knows that this is like an important deal. So they will make it as great as they can possibly make it.
Shifting gears just a little bit, but staying with the talk of WWE, seeing how WWE's been utilizing part-time performers like Brock Lesnar, Rob Van Dam, Chris Jericho, would you be interested in going back to the WWE if utilized properly? I can only imagine that it's not always about returning, but how things are executed.
Absolutely. If things work out, I mean, I've had so many negotiations on the table with different places. But my whole goal is not to be a full-time contracted player. If I could work something out with WWE where I could be a part-time guy that works once a week and kind of dictates my own schedule, and they don't own me completely, and I'm not at their beck and call, I would totally be into doing it. And that's one of the things. I'm not like a megastar or iconic like a Shawn Michaels or an Undertaker or one of those guys who could absolutely get away with it. But if it doesn't work out where I could fall into a Rob Van Dam or Chris Jericho category, I would totally be into it, and I would love it. So we'll see. We'll see what the future holds.
Now, Matt, is there anybody you're eyeballing in particular from WWE that you would love to get in the ring with? Maybe somebody you haven't worked with in a while, or somebody you haven't worked with before?
Well, I mean, right now, currently, I'm digging Daniel Bryan. It's great how He is came from Ring of Honor, and he is truly a guy that was built upon just in-ring work and his work rate. And the fans have just embraced him so greatly. And the way Daniel Bryan is over, almost the more they mess with him from a political standpoint, the more over he gets, because he's really the darling of the WWE Universe right now. So I love Daniel Bryan. I would love the chance to actually work with Daniel Bryan and all the guys in the Shield. I think the Shield has done good. WWE has really taken the ball and scored a touchdown for the Shield. All those guys are good individually, and it's nice that WWE has really embraced them and given them the opportunity to be great on their programming, and it's totally paid off, totally worked. And it's going to lead into a point I have going forward. Like, wrestling fans are smart now. They're truly educated. Like, if you want a wrestler to get over, the days of the big, lumbering guys that can't deliver a good match are over. Wrestling fans demand a great personality, but also someone who can get in the ring and have a great match and be a good athlete. And you're going to see the average size of the professional wrestler, even in WWE, constantly come down and be smaller because it's going to take a more athletic guy. The Undertaker, he represents all those things: a great personality, a great character, a great athlete, but those guys are few and far between nowadays.
Okay. I hear you on that one. Now, one thing I've been noticing about you over the years, especially within the past 3 years, your promos have gotten better and better. Many will call them classic, solid, hell man, even golden. I'm curious, man, what's been your secret to improving? Because whatever you're doing, it's not just extending there. It's also extending to the ring, because you've really been cranking it up a notch. I think for the listeners, a good example of your promo work, I think, is that promo you had cut in Ring of Honor. I'm trying to think now. What was that? I think you titled it on YouTube, "I Will Own Ring of Honor." My God, that was freaking classic, man.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate those kind words. I think what it's been for me is that, ever since I was a teenager, I wrestled, and my brother and I entered the wrestling bubble very young. And that was our passion, that was our dream, and we were able to achieve it. But the whole deal was, after I got out of wrestling, I stepped away from the wrestling bubble, stepped away from the wrestling culture where wrestling consumed me, and I realized how great life is on its own. It allowed me to grow, and I've learned from the good things I've done and the bad things I've done, how to be a human being that really gets the full spectrum of life. And truly, I think my promos and my storytelling in ring comes from me connecting the dots. I have connected all the dots. I see life through different eyes than I did when I was at WWE, because I have a new appreciation, I have a new love, and a new vision on life. And that has allowed me to tell better stories. And that translates to my promos and my in-ring work. Even though athletically my body is beat up and is damaged from all those years I've beat it up, I feel like I'm a stronger and better storyteller now than I've ever been in my life.
And it shows. It really shows. Really have been enjoying your work within recent years. Now, on a side note, would you ever consider bringing back the V1 gimmick? Because I'm just thinking about how social media is today and how internet savvy we all are nowadays with our gadgets and all. I think V1 would fit right in if done in the style of like, well, I don't know how much of a gamer you are, but like if it was done in the style of Riddler from Batman's Arkham City, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I do kind of know what you're talking about. I'm not a big gamer overall, but I do think version 1 has a place. Version 1 will always be a part of Matt Hardy. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. I still throw up the V1 sign whenever I go to the ring every night, that I'm performing. And that part of the character will be a part of me from here on out. It is definitely one of my character traits. So, I think V1 would work well in 2013, especially when we're, so gifted with so much social media and so much of an online presence in the wrestling business. And also, even as fans, they're so gifted because they're allowed so much access to every bit of information. So yeah, version 1 will always be a part of me until the day I die.
All right. Right on. I'm crossing my fingers, man. I'd like to see you just really bring that back in full effect. I think you'd have some serious fun with it if you brought it back on a full-time basis. Hey, can only keep the fingers crossed and just hope there. Now, something you've been seeing or hearing probably is all the chatter that's been going on with TNA being up for sale. Now we're getting word that they're going to be going off the road from performing in arenas to performing in school gymnasiums. community colleges. We all know your brother, Jeff. He's there. You probably have friends, colleagues that's there. How does it make you feel outside looking in on these things that's going on with the company that's been around now for 11 years and counting?
It's one of those things I think it's also one of there's a lot of benefits to the information that's accessible online, and one of the drawbacks sometimes rumors do run rampant. Mm-hmm. And this is coming from me as an outside perspective with just a little bit of knowledge from the friends I have there and my brother. I really think those rumors have been greatly exaggerated in many ways. I think TNA was smart to come off the road because they weren't drawing a house with them. They weren't drawing enough tickets to justify the price it took to fly all of their production people out there and the price it took to fly all of the guys there on a constant basis. So I think for them, they have to be financially savvy to continue to grow as a company. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So to me, I think TNA is going back. They're kind of resetting. They're kind of reestablishing what they're doing. They're taking a new direction for the future. And the business needs TNA to survive. It needs to thrive. It needs to be good. Not only is it an alternative for the fans, but it also gives all the boys and girls someplace else to work. So, I mean, I wish nothing but the best for TNA. And Tipsy Carter, she's always been great to me. I have nothing good things to say about her. So I hope TNA succeeds. It's not going to be direct competition to WWE. Nothing is in this day and age. But we always need an alternative product. And anything else that is different or cutting edge or something that gives the fans something different to watch besides WWE is truly important for the wrestling industry.
I'm sure your fans definitely are aware of you and your brother having achieved great success founding the Omega promotion, even resurrecting it earlier this year. And like you said earlier, you've worked with various promotions over the years, so you kind of have a good idea about what works and what doesn't work. If you were in a position where you could offer friendly advice to TNA, just a couple of key ingredients for success, if you will, what would it be?
The first thing I would say to TNA is with your storytelling and with the personas and characters you are telling stories with on TV, be sophisticated. Make sure there's continuity in every story you're telling, because the viewers are more intelligent in 2013 than they've ever been. I mean, there's so much information accessible to everyone who watches wrestling on TV. You can go online, you can Google anything, you can find out everything. So when you're on there and you're portraying a story with these two characters that are wrestling, and ultimately it's good versus evil, it's bad versus the hero. And in this Renaissance era of golden TV with shows like Breaking Bad, Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, Mad Men, whatever the show may be, there's a ton of them. Wrestling competes with that, which is good storytelling. You have a specific universe. Walking Dead, there's a Walking Dead universe where zombies live, but the show sets up parameters, and they give you rules and guidelines, and kind of what the extent of the chaos can be, and everything makes sense. Sure, viewers watch it, they know it's a fictional show, but as long as everything makes sense, there's continuity they enjoy, because viewers want to be entertained. That translates totally over to the wrestling business. And the mentality for the wrestling business for so long has just been like, well, it's just wrestling. We can kind of throw this out, or forget about this, or drop this storyline, or let's let this guys go away. The wrestling fans, don't forget about it. Don't forget about it. You cannot insult the wrestling fans on television, because they are smarter now than they've ever been. So professional wrestling, my advice to TNA would be make your stories as strong as possible and make sure there's continuity. Don't insult the viewers on television.
I'm with you on that one 100%. Good words right there, Matt. Last month, we saw you perform in the House of Hardcore promotion that's run by Tommy Dreamer. I'm curious because I didn't get a chance to check it out, but I've heard a lot of good things about that promotion, been getting a lot of great feedback. What was it like working for him and being surrounded with familiar faces? I mean, hell, man, we had Bully Ray, Matt Stryker, Carlito, Stevie Richards, from what all I heard.
Yeah, man, I knew everyone on the show, and Tommy Dreamer is a guy, and it's funny, this expression is thrown around a lot currently in the industry because Triple H coined it, WWE, but Tommy Dreamer is a guy that just truly does what's best for business. And he had a great show from the beginning to the end. He did a very smart show, which made sense. It told good stories, and the show from the beginning match to the very last match was stacked right on the card. And the fans that came out, they intellectual and just a good show from A to Z. And Tommy is so good about that. It's a shame that he doesn't have the resources to have a television program and to be on cable television globally and to run shows weekly. But that stuff, it takes a while to get, and it's hard to get your machine running at that level. But Tommy, I can't say enough good things about Tommy. Tommy Dreamer is an absolute A-plus commodity for the wrestling business.
Any word on the next House of Hardcore event? Because the one that passed, and correct me if I'm wrong, that was House of Hardcore 3 last month, right?
That was House of Hardcore 3. I know he's working on doing a couple more in the future. The dates haven't been announced yet, but it's one of those things. He's kind of dipped his feet to the water and got a good taste for it. So I hope Tommy continues to do shows, and I hope he continues to expand as far as his whole branding of the House of Hardcore, because it's a great product.
Speaking of hardcore, we've got the Extreme Rising Unfinished Business pay-per-view coming up. This is now under new management. How's it been to work with the new regime compared to the old? What can you tell fans about what they can expect from the Extreme Rising promotion this time around? Because by the current campaign that's being promoted, it kind of comes off as if Extreme Rising is saying, look, we're here for the long haul. Even got this whole new weekly TV show that's going to be launching soon.
Yeah, I think there is definitely a place in the wrestling industry for an extreme wrestling, because that is a very specific niche. There are people who like things that are cutting edge, relaxed rules, and where you can do different things. And much like Tommy Dreamer's House of Hardcore was, Extreme Rising is a market that there are wrestling fans out there that want to see something like that. And I think they have a good game plan going forward right now. And I think considering they have booked the ECW Arena, which is just an iconic venue for extreme wrestling, I think that is a good move, and it goes hand in hand. I think they have a good idea and they have great aspirations of where they want to go in the future. And I'm excited to be one of the players that's part of it. So they have a good game plan. If they can execute it, I think it's going to be something the wrestling fans are going to love. It's going to be something that's different and definitely a throwback to the original ECW.
Now, you are, and correct me if I'm wrong, but you will be part of the Extreme Rising weekly TV series, or are you still under a contract to Ring of Honor?
I will be a part of the TV series.
Awesome.
There is no contract outside that doesn't allow me to do anything else I want to do. So the agreement I had with Ring of Honor was a deal where I had complete absolute freedom with anyone else. So yes, I will be part of the series.
Awesome. That is awesome to hear. That is some really good news right there. We got this Extreme Rising pay-per-view event that's going to be coming up. I mean, my God, you and Luke Hawx, you guys have been going at it since 2012. I think it was at the Wildcat Pro Wrestling promotion. You talk about intense, man. How are you? I mean, man, what's your mindset going into this match with him? Because I'm like trying to figure out how are you guys going to be able to top the last few times you all went at it? Because from what I saw of you all's matches, it was just insane. I really enjoyed them.
It is going to be intense. That's a good word for it. We've had great battles, and I think they're a little. They're not just a little. They're extremely physical, more than normal, because I don't think it's any secret. Luke Hawx and I, as human beings, we don't really see eye to eye. We have different perspectives on lives. It's like when you go to any job, you have people you work with that you like, you have people you work with that you don't like. And Luke Hawx and I, we're not friends. We don't hang out afterwards. I don't go to New Orleans to do a show with him and then go to Bourbon Street and hang out after. We're not friends. We're not. We don't even consider ourselves peers. We will be professional enough to work together. But there is something in that makes it even more attractive, because two guys that don't like one another, that are watching their back because they're worried the other guy might take liberties or might try to do something specifically that hurt him or rough him up. You know that it's going to be a very physical match. And that's one thing I can promise people in the ECW Arena on December 28th for Extreme Rising. Luke Hawx and I, two guys that don't like one another, we'll get in the ring and work with one another because we know the fans demand it. But we just see we just see totally different perspectives when we look eye to eye. Myself, I feel like I'm an evolved human being. I've been through everything good, I've been through everything bad, and I realize, I am Matt Hardy, the character that gets in the ring, and I it be Ring of Honor, whether it be House of Hardcore, whether it be Extreme Rising, whether it be WWE or TNA. Luke Hogg still really buys into who he is, that he is the Southern Stomper, that he can whip anyone's ass. And that's where the difference comes across. That's where the difference comes across when we look eye to eye. But when we get there at ECW Arena, the passion and emotion that is going to fill that building, and we're both going to be on our best, and we're both going to be ready to throw down as hard as we possibly can, because we're going to protect one another, and it becomes an issue of pride. So it's one of those things, I think it becomes a win-win for the wrestling fans.
That's definitely one match that we're going to be watching very closely, I'm sure. Tell me, what other appearances do you have planned as you get ready to wrap up this calendar year going into early 2014?
Well, the biggest thing I have going on right now is that this Saturday I will be in New York City at Hammerstein Ballroom, and I'll be appearing for Ring of Honor on their biggest show of the year, which is Final Battle. I'm going to be competing in a match, and then if they don't meet my demands, I very well may take Ring of Honor over.
We definitely need to make sure we pay attention to that one. You said that's coming up this Saturday?
That is this Saturday at Hammerstein Ballroom in New York City. Oh. It's going to be December 14th, and it's going to be a huge night. I promise you. I am going to cause an earthquake that night at Ring of Honor.
Yeah, we definitely need to pay attention to that one for sure. So to recap, we got that event coming up, and then we've got the Extreme Rising Unfinished Business pay-per-view on December 28th, and that's pretty much going to wrap up the year for you.
That's going to wrap up the year. I have a couple of little things going on. If you want to stay in tune with everything I'm doing, go to MattHardyBrand.com. You can follow me on Twitter at twitter.com/MattHardyBrand. I'm on Facebook at facebook.MattHardyBrand.com. And also check out my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/MattHardyBrand.
The one and only Matt Hardy. Matt, thank you so much for taking time out to do this. It really means a lot. We greatly appreciate it. We hope to have you back on the show one day. We'd love to have you, man. Really enjoyed this experience with you here.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Enjoyed chatting with you, man. And I'm looking forward towards Ring of Honor and Extreme Rising. And I can promise you this, if Luke Hogg's trying to break down and it becomes a stream in the ring, I'm going to do everything I can to knock his ass out.
I hear you on that one. Well, all the best, bro, and thank you so much.
All right, thanks, man. Be well.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Matt Hardy. Really hope that you guys had appreciated that interview right there. And to recap, if you want to stay in tune with everything that Matt Hardy is doing, you know, you can hit him up at his website at MattHardyBrand.com. One more time, that's MattHardyBrand.com. You can also follow him on Twitter at twitter.com/MattHardyBrand. Or for those of you that's a little bit more Twitter savvy, just look him up at Matt Hardy Brand. He's also on Facebook at Matt Hardy Brand. You can also check him out on his YouTube channel, which is, you guessed it, Matt Hardy Brand. All right, so check all those great links out. Support him, follow him through his journey as he continues to entertain the masses. One more time, give it up for the one and only Matt Hardy. Matt, thank you so much once again. Really a great honor to have you on the show.